This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. George Olver is the founder of Movidiam, a creative network that allows brands, agencies, and filmmakers across the globe to connect, collaborate, and create films. Hello, George. Welcome back.
Larry, great to be here.
We had a chance to talk a few months ago, but just to sort of give us some background, how would you describe Movidiam?
So, Larry, Movidiam is a professional creative network and project management application for filmmaking. So it's two things, really. It's a professional social network where filmmakers, agencies, and production companies can come and build a presence for themselves. And also it's a project management tool where they can streamline their process of production using our feature set.
Well, you were one of the founders. Why did you decide to start the service?
Exactly. So I was one of the founders of Movidiam, along with Alex Vero. Alex and I have been in the processes of film production for 12 years. We've worked for a great number of Fortune 500 and FTSE 250 businesses. And during that experience and time, we learned a lot about the filmmaking process. We delivered some sort of remarkable projects with some amazing teams from all over the world. And we just thought some of these things we were doing on a day-to-day basis could be improved with a layer of technology.
So on today's show, we're talking with three different web-based collaborative platforms. What makes yours unique? Why should people consider you?
I think what's interesting about Movidiam, and it kind of dives deep into the sort of theory of building software, which is it's a bundling up of a number of great features. So it's a hub. So it's a one-stop shop. There's a number of solutions out there which are single-featured and have some great elements to them. But what we've done with Movidiam is try to bring all those tools into our project management. And then not only just have that as a project management facility for our users, but also to fuse that with the human resource and the talent that actually operates those tools. So really it's an intersect of talent and productivity, which is what's exciting about Movidiam.
Well, give me a sense of how we use it. When do we dial into the service and what do we get from it?
So let's just take an example for an agency in New York. They might have a brief to produce a piece of content or film in London or in Paris. And how do they go about doing that? Well, they probably look through their Rolodex of DPs, directors, and editors that they have in these locations, and they maybe potentially fly a team out there. Well, it's business as usual, but that dashboard is in our profiling section. So you can research local talent and maybe people that might be more suited to that brief. And so you can find the team of best fit based on your exact needs. And as we find that people commissioning films are brands and agencies, and sometimes internal at brands or internal at production agencies or even creative agencies, there's more demand for filmmaking. So giving them simple access to the global creative means of production is a very attractive and appealing thing in this very content-hungry world.
So one way to think of Movidiam is a online global Rolodex?
Ultimately, that's one way of looking at it. It's a professional social network. So it's a place where filmmakers come and showcase their expertise, their work, who they've worked with, their unique skills, and ultimately present themselves to brands and agencies who might want to commission them. So it's just raising visibility for filmmakers and production companies inside the global ecosystem of filmmaking.
The last time we spoke, Movidiam was still in beta. Now,
Sure.
That was a while back, so it's time to get an update. What's the newest news?
So, I mean, the really exciting news, Larry, is that we're releasing a mobile app with all the features in very, very soon, within sort of the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're also coming to the US. Actually, on the 12th of April, we'll be doing a big presentation at the Tribeca Film Festival, just before the start of the Tribeca Film Festival at the Crosby Street Hotel. That's it. It's for our American community of agencies and filmmakers. And then we're going on to NAB. Then we're going down to New Orleans for Collision, and then back to Los Angeles to communicate with some of our team and wider production companies in LA. So a big trip around the US, which is where we see a large part of our community.
From New York to Las Vegas to New Orleans, you're not going to get any sleep at all for the better part of a month.
It's going to be pretty brutal, Larry, but very exciting. Something I did learn, though, from reading your Kit Plus, Larry, is that when at NAB, we've certainly got comfortable trainers.
Oh, yeah. My goodness. When we were just talking about the fact that a typical use would be an agency, whether New York or LA or Las Vegas or anywhere else, but an agency that's looking to go outside its normal area, and it needs to find staff to do that. So we've got the Rolodex aspect of Movidiam, but there's also the project management. Tell me more about that.
So our project management features include a timeline tool, a task tool, a video revisions tool, a feed of chat, which can be inter-project or inter-team, an ability to store assets related to that project, so rushes, brand guidelines, brand logos, all within a dashboard interface for the project. So it's bringing the creative means of production, the filmmakers, into the project, as well as all the assets, as well as all the scheduling. And we've got a couple of exciting Gantt charts and budget features coming up soon as well. Very exciting, Larry. Filmmakers always love those.
Are you targeting the commercial audience? I'm thinking agencies here. Are you targeting more filmmakers, or who's your typical audience?
It's a very interesting question, and I think if I look at who is using Movidiam very effectively now, brands and agencies in the commercial market are very, very effectively, but we also see independent filmmakers use it, and we've got a couple of feature films that are using some of our project management features to streamline. So I think the way we look at it is the processes of filmmaking are nearly the same. It just depends on the level of investment, the size of the team. So the processes and structures that you go through are practically the same whether you're making a commercial or a feature film. And we've developed a solution that will expand to all areas of the moving image production, but initially the focus is probably brands and agencies wanting to do commercial work.
How do they use the service? So I'm signing up, I go to movidiam.com, I type, correct. I'm in, walk me through the setup process.
So for filmmakers, brands and agencies, the ability to set up a profile to represent yourself on the platform is completely free. To enter the project management tools is $5 a month. And also we're offering very soon the ability to pay freelancers through the system. The agencies find the project management tools very streamlining, very efficient. It takes a lot of disparate tools that they've been using and puts it all in one place. And we all know what it's like to get feedback from clients on text message, on voicemail, on telephone call, on Excel sheets, and even on a fax from time to time. It can be confusing. So we've put that all into one place, and so the whole agency team and potentially the clients at certain aspects of the project can see it and feed back on it. So it's really just raising the visibility on what's going on. So in this busy world that we need to produce a lot of content, everyone involved, all the stakeholders, can see the project developing in front of them.
Well, go more into this project management. Do we have things like Gantt charts and timelines and projected completion dates? How extensive is it?
Exactly. We have a very significant timeline right at the top of the project management dashboard. And yes, Gantt charts has been a very requested feature, and we've looked into that, and that will be integrated very, very shortly. I mean, I think Gantt charts were heavily utilized in the last 10 years of filmmaking. I think we want to look at it and really have a think about how we can make it suitable for the screen and administrative layer of making projects work. So it will look something like a Gantt chart. Whether it's actually a Gantt chart, that's something for our users to feedback with us.
How about client review and commenting on videos in process?
Well, exactly. We've got a revision feature that sits right in the center of the Movidiam project management proposition. So you upload your film or a version of that film, and you can annotate comments on it by clicking on the screen, and other users and the editor. And so you can assign points back to an editor or back to a visual effects artist, or even send that a version of that through a microsite to a client. You might want to have their feedback that then comes back to you. So there's team feedback within the creative team making it, but there's also the ability to send it off to the client, because again, the client's perspective is very different from the team that creates the work.
One of the things that I'm worried about with the cloud, aside from the fact that the assets are stored where I have no control over them, is just security in general. And we can't turn a newspaper page these days without discovering new companies that have been hacked or ransom demands. I mean, the World Wide Web is a scary place right now. How do we make sure that something which is so deadline critical as a video project is going to be secure?
I think it's a very important question. It's one that we take very seriously at Movidiam, and this starts both at the very start of our process of looking at code and how we do peer-to-peer review of our code. We test the integrity of the site with bringing others to look at the platform from a security perspective from third parties. We partner with very large cloud service businesses which have a very good focus on security. I mean, our Movidiam platform is hosted on the AWS infrastructure, which is the Amazon Web Services, which might be very well known to you. It's certainly known to a great number of large organizations in the US. And we have very, very clear perspective of the technical and security landscape, which we regularly look at to make sure we're up to date. Having your reference to having control over your footage, you have total control over it. You can choose where to put it, what projects to put it in, how to move it around, when to remove it. And I think the idea of a physical hard drive in your office in Los Angeles might potentially be less secure than the cloud.
And how is it priced? How much money am I investing?
So the project management features are $25 a month. There's the ability to submit a brief, which soon will be a charged feature. And then we have an enterprise level package for some of the larger agencies, part of Havas, Omnicom, and the WPP group, for example. They might well be using the system with an enterprise custom package where we give them direct access to training, guidance on who to select from the talent perspective based on their guidelines and recommendations.
If I'm a filmmaker and want to profile myself on Movidiam, is there a fee for that?
That's absolutely free, and we're delighted to have you there. The Movidiam community is incredibly diverse and very rich in the content that it puts up. All our profiles have the accessibility to blog and update what you're up to on them, and we find very, very interesting stories being discussed in the community often.
Have you announced how many users you've got? How many people on profile?
We haven't announced the number of users that are profiling, but there's several hundred agencies a week signing up to the platform looking for talent to work with, because they're very excited about working with people that might be more talented or more interesting or more creative than the existing network that they have.
Nothing like more competition for a person trying to get a job. I tell you, you're making our lives both better and more difficult at the same time.
I think Movidiam is challenging for the uncompetitive and the people who don't invest in building a presence and celebrating the work they've done. I mean, I think there is a team of best fit for every project, and whatever level of the business that you're working in, exposure in that environment, you've got to be in the marketplace, and that's what a profile will do for you on Movidiam.
Where can people go on the web to learn more about you and your service?
So Movidiam.com is our homepage, and it's free to sign up, and please do come and investigate some of the profiles and conversations that are going on the site. So that's our homepage, and it would be great to have a conversation with you, Larry, on our podcast for our community.
George, I'd enjoy that. George Olver is a co-founder and CEO of Movidiam and Movidiam.com. George, thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here, Larry.
If you'd like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. To stay connected and receive updates from The Buzz, sign up for our free weekly newsletter now. Or you can learn more about us on our website. And thanks for watching The Digital Production Buzz.